Pretty good.
Good. So you want me to make a statement? You want to ask questions? How you want to
Coach,
do
I
this?
just
I'm
normally we
good.
just start with questions. You guys can fire away.
Well, first of all, let me say that we appreciate you all coming to, watch our players work. These players have done a fantastic job for us over the 3 or 4 years that they've been here, and it benefits them in our program that they do extremely well in times like these, so that they get the opportunity to play at the next level and get drafted as high as possible. So we're hopeful that each one of those guys will be able to represent themselves in a way that will allow them to do that.
What's the most important thing, Nick, on a day like today, after a combine, you think, for players?
Well, I think it's just an opportunity for a player to be able to work out in a more intimate environment and maybe a more relaxed environment. I think the combine can be a little bit overwhelming and intimidating in some ways because there's so much going on and so many things happening in terms of the multitude of interviews that you have and medicals and physical tests and all those things. Where here it's a little bit more relaxed, and we'll have another pro day on March 29th, which will be 3 weeks from now, where we always like to have a second day so that players all can prepare for that. Help some of our injured guys, like it did Eddie Lacy a few years ago, and it will Eddie Jackson this year, that they'll be more ready to be their old selves relative to the injuries that they're overcoming. So I think just be themselves and perform well. I think a lot of the guys that we have are really good players, and I think that's really what they need to do.
What kind of future do you think Ryan Anderson has in the NFL?
Excuse me?
What kind of future do you think Ryan Anderson
I think Ryan Anderson's a really good player, and he's the kind of player that, because he's got a lot of diversity as a player in terms of being able to rush, he can play stack backer or he can play outside backer. So, and in a lot of systems and a lot of schemes right now, based on the way offensive football is in the NFL, you need guys like that have that kind of diversity. So I think he's got a really good future, and I think he's done well here today.
Have you had a chance to talk to Reuben about what happened at the combine?
I absolutely have, and look, Reuben's been a great player for us here. We've never had any issues with Reuben, and I think that, when you ask someone, if anybody here asks someone 8 or 10 times, am I in the right place? Is my name on the list? Why have I had to stay here for so long? And nobody will respond to you. I think it would probably create a little anxiety for all of us. And I know that Reuben wishes that he would have responded maybe in a more positive way, but I think other people could have responded and been a little more respectful to him as well.
As an former NFL coach yourself, how much do you think it helps Reuben to come here, talk to a lot of teams last night all at once, and kind of hit this thing, kind of get out in front of it with him?
Well, I think that anybody that thinks what happened at Indy should affect this guy's future in the draft is being very short-sighted. He's played here for 4 years. We've never had issue with him. He's always been a great leader. He's a signal caller on defense. He's bright, and he's always been a great team guy and really well liked by his teammates. So if you're looking for a good teammate to be on your team, Reuben's going to be very, very good. If you're looking for somebody to be a candy striper and be nice to everybody at the hospital, maybe not.
What can Brian Dable bring to the staff, new offensive coordinator?
I'm sorry?
What does Brian Dable bring to the staff, new offensive coordinator?
Well, Brian's got a lot of experience. He's coached 11 years with the Patriots. He's 6 years an NFL offensive coordinator, coached with us at Michigan State. So I think he's got a lot of knowledge and experience in the pro game, as well as being a very bright guy that can learn some of the things that we've done here relative to the spread and do what our players can do here.
I know you're talking to Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. Just for you personally, is it, when you have a day like this, to kind of have some of these guys around, is it good to mingle with those guys and just catch up?
Well, you all might not know that, but we're all Croatians, so we kind of hang together, and we've been good friends for a long time, and talk a lot about a lot of things. And Bill's a mentor of mine, and Bill Belichick, and I worked for him for 4 years. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He's been very helpful to me in my career, and also in helping me formulate the processes that we use here that has helped us be successful. And most of you may not know this, but I took Pete Carroll's place as secondary coach at Ohio State way back when. So I've known Pete for a long, long time, and we've always been defensive guys, and we've always discussed things. And I respect his opinion, and I think he has a mutual respect for what we've been able to do, and he's been helpful to me as well.
Coach, what will the team get in O.J. Howard?
I'm sorry?
What will the team get in O.J. Howard?
Well, I think that, tight end is kind of a unique position now in terms of how people use tight ends, and it's hard to find a guy that can play split out like a lot of people want to use their tight end, a guy that can play in the C area as a C area blocker, and a guy that can play off the ball and do a lot of things that's more fullback-like, is what you would know from the old days of football. So to find a guy that can do all three of those things is really difficult, and OJ's one of those guys that can do that. So I think you're going to get a great receiver, but you're also going to get a complete guy that can block well, and I think he's done really, really well in how he's represented himself at the combine and in these workouts.